Hello, I'm Cindy Arenberg-Seltzer, President and CEO of the Children's Services Council of Broward County. Welcome to another edition of Future First, Focus on Broward's Children. At the end of each episode of Future First, you've heard me recite the mission of the CSC, but you may not be familiar with the vision that the council members established when the CSC was created. That is, that the children of Broward County shall have the opportunity to realize their full potential, their hopes, and their dreams, supported by a nurturing family and community. It's very difficult to give children a fair opportunity at that potential if they're food insecure, if they go to school hungry, if their families don't know where their next meal will come from, and if, ultimately, the food they eat is not wholesome and nutritious. To talk about the many ways we address food insecurity and proper nutrition for children here in Broward, I'm joined by Susan Baigelman, WECARE Program Director at the Soref Jewish Community Center, Melanie Geddes, President and CEO of Lifenet for Families, Helen Shinners, Executive Director of Hope Outreach Center, and Mark Adler, Executive Director of Broward Meals on Wheels. Later, we'll also visit with Scott Halderman, Chairman of the Planning Committee of the Miramar Community Gardens. These organizations are part of the broader South Florida Hunger Coalition, formerly known as the Million Meals Committee. Welcome to all of you.
Hi. Thanks, Cindy.
The Million Meals Committee is something that the Children's Services Council has been very concerned about since our creation. I remember way back when they came to us and asked for help, and at that time we thought if we could just gather 1 million meals to deliver to Broward residents, we would solve the hunger problem. How foolish were we? Those 1 million meals, we've way surpassed that, and still barely made a drop in the bucket of the hunger problem. Now, you're dealing with that all the time at Meals on Wheels, right?
Absolutely, yeah. Broward Meals on Wheels has actually been serving the seniors of Broward County for 30 years, as of actually about a week ago.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. And we serve 1.5 million meals per year to 10,000 seniors. And we still don't even scratch the surface. They estimate there's about 49,000 seniors in Broward County at risk of hunger, and we serve 10,000 of them. So it begs to the question, what are the other 39,000 doing? Probably going to some of my counterparts' places here, but there's a huge need that can never be, and it's growing all the time.
So scary. And Hope Outreach provides that first stop often,
yes,
right?
We're an emergency food pantry, and what we do is people come to us first, and then we try to connect them to either the public benefits for SNAP or other food pantries where they can go more often. We usually give them the first weeks of food and also facilitate the application process for SNAP. We do have seniors that come to us a lot, and some of the seniors are just, you know, they get Meals on Wheels, but they're on a fixed income, and they'll run out of food for other times of the year, especially when they have a crisis with medication, or the toilet overflowed, or the air conditioning broke, and they don't have money for repairs, and then they don't have money for food. So,
you know, I just want to stop you for 1 second, because we often talk in jargon, and SNAP has become quite well known to people. But why don't you explain a little bit about what SNAP is and what it does? Supplemental nutrition, supplemental nutrition assistance program.
Okay. It used to be food stamps.
Right.
Yeah, it was known as food stamps, but they don't get the stamps anymore. It's like a debit card.
So it's not so much stigma.
So that's the acronym of this. That's what SNAP is.
Okay. Use it a lot. And there's many places around the county where people can, that are called access centers,
yeah,
right?
We're an access partner with the Department of Children and Families. And then they go, and usually, you know, we are a community center, so people from our nearby communities can come to us, and then other communities have access partners in their communities so that there's access to that benefit, versus just a central location in the county.
And a good way to find out about where you can go for that and many other benefits is to call 211.
Correct.
I always like to make sure that our viewers get some takeaways there. Call 211, tell them you're hungry, ask about SNAP and an access center where they can find out if they're eligible. We don't want anybody in Broward to feel stigmatized about that. Now, Melanie, I introduced you at Lifenet, which of course is where you are, but some people may not know it as Lifenet. Used to be known as?
The Cooperative Feeding Program. And I think that when we decided to change the name, it was mainly because we do so much more than just feed people. And so that message wasn't really being conveyed by the name, so we needed to change that. Lifenet for Families is more in line with what we actually do. We provide a holistic approach, a seamless approach to care that involves everything from applying for food stamps. We are a food stamp site, an access site, as are you. We also provide help with other benefits if people are late for, are unable to pay a bill. We can assist with that. We also assist with family reunification if they're looking to go back to relatives in another community. We have a food pantry, and we also have a kitchen where you can come, a community kitchen where people can eat if they're hungry. And we don't have any requirements in terms of what your income is. There's no income guidelines.
That's fantastic. And now the Jewish Community Center, obviously, WECARE. Tell us a little bit about what's going on over there.
Well, WECARE has been in existence since 1979, when the campus first opened, and it started as a little shelf in somebody's office in case somebody came in hungry. Unfortunately, we've grown. We help over 10,000 people a year, and we work with everybody in need in the community, regardless of, you know, like we all do, because we're all not-for-profit agencies. So we help everybody in need, and we work in coalition with many social service agencies, with Lifenet for Families, with Meals on Wheels. 211 Broward is a great resource for any kind of assistance in the county, and so we've been helping families, you know, and I'm listening to some of the services that you all offer, and I'm not a social worker. We don't have social workers at our agency, but we will refer people to other agencies because often the need for food is only one piece of the picture. There's usually other, again, helping people get WIC. That's another acronym, which is Women with Infants and Children. So that's a program, another federal program. So we'll help people access those things. We'll refer them to family resource centers, to you know, to the SNAP program, Hispanic Unity. I mean, it runs a gamut of other services where they, you know, we feel that they need somebody else, getting a social worker involved when there's a need for other assistance. And we work with social service agencies throughout the county. You know, so they send their clients to us. So we provide non-perishable groceries. We're not a feeding program. So we give people, but most people that come to us have a home. They have some place to prepare some food. So we provide non-perishable groceries, some fresh produce, some bread and baked goods. So most people will take that home with them. And families with children, like we're talking about the need for children, will receive extra items. We make sure that they have boxed milk, that they have cereal, they have peanut butter, more nutritious things for their children, because it's so important that they make sure they have the right things to eat.
Yeah, obviously the issues around children are very near and dear to my heart, and so we're doing some pretty creative things here in Broward. One is now, I think, going to be a national model, because one of those real tough times is summer. We're pretty good, you know, we've got a school lunch program, and through CSC and the after-school programs, there's about 10,000 children that are getting snacks through the USDA food program, and now you can have some suppers, but summer has been pretty bleak. But you were instrumental in a nice collaborative.
Yeah, last summer was pretty exciting for us as a Meals on Wheels affiliate. We
brought your age range down.
We did. we just got together with Florida Impact, with folks from your house, and with the Broward County Housing Authority, and we said, you know, these kids that are living in these food deserts where the housing authorities are located, who rely on the summer or the school food program for what might be the only nutritious meal they get per day. In the summer, they have no alternatives where to get nutritious lunch, or so we came to the table and we kind of said, well, we already do this. We deliver food to people, so why not expand who we deliver food to include children during the summer? And so that's what we did. We worked together in partnership with all these organizations throughout the county, including the Children's Services Council, and brought food to these kids in the Housing Authority. Almost 500 kids per day were receiving a lunch and a snack, and it snowballed this effort between 5 different community organizations. We built a program around, in between the lunch and the snack, that included, nutrition education, physical activity with the YMCA, touch program, nutrition education, cooking demonstration with Trina Spillman, who's also funded through the Children's Services Council. I just turned into this huge program that really the kids look forward to it every day. For the 9 weeks of the summer, we were able to provide them with a healthy, nutritious meal and teach them as the outcomes of those programs at the end. Through the Touch program, Nova Southeastern did a pre and post analysis. 78% of the kids reported eating more fruits and vegetables than they had in the past. 80% reported spending less time in front of the TV than they had. Right. So really substantial, great outcomes came of that, and we're looking to expand that next summer. That was a pilot project with the extra funding from in addition to the USDA funding that funds the meals. The Children's Services Council and the Community Foundation teamed up with us to be able to actually hire folks from the housing authorities to run those programs. If we can replicate that model, the potential for feeding kids across the entire U.S. with 5,000 Meals on Wheels programs and who knows how many housing authority programs, it's just exponential.
It was kind of exciting. We have been funding summer programs since our inception 13 years ago, and we've always included feeding in that. I mean, children always get a good lunch and a snack during that time, but we've built it more around the academics and infusing other stuff. So this was kind of fun to start with the food and then say, but wait a second, we're feeding them, but now we've got to do something else and make it worthwhile for them. And so it really did have so many wonderful benefits that very excited.
Exactly, and especially where these kids are in locations where they're not on main transportation routes, they're not able to get to some of the summer break spot programs that are also running around town that they actually have to go to. Mm-hmm. So we were able to bring this to where they live. So that made it, only 11% of the kids who are eligible to participate in the summer break spot programs actually get to participate. So we've got a long way to go, but this is a good direction.
I think that's one of the great things about the Hunger Coalition in Broward County, Million Meals, that has brought all of us together to solve the greater problem and get alternative ideas as to how to feed people. Again, Hope Outreach is going to have its 20th anniversary next year, and we started with just a food pantry with bags of food, and we grew into a full-fledged social service organization. But we still have that pantry because that's like the first step for people. And then we also have the fresh fruits and vegetables from Homestead and Palm Beach for the gleaning programs, and that provides more nutrition component to our families. And in our after-school care, we always try to educate the children into how to eat healthier in a budget. You don't have to have a lot of money to eat good. And some of these kids never saw vegetables or fruits, and then we start making them make little things, little snacks with them. They make something so they want to eat it, and then they like it. And now, they go and tell their parent, oh, I want to buy celery. And the parent says, what's celery? And then we start the family into a nutritious path like that. So I think the Hunger Coalition has done a terrific job collaborating, bringing new ideas, and expanding the access to nutritious food for those residents of Broward County, especially the children.